Hey, good morning. Excuse my tardiness. Got caught up. How's everyone doing? Johnny from the fog, good to see you. Who else is here today? We're going to get started on some melodic minor scale harmony. So grab your guitar. Thank you for this. David, great. I appreciate you being here. I was waiting to see your name. Now we can get started. I'm going to get a little bit closer. We're going to do a lot of the whiteboard today, but I've also got my guitar. We're going to talk chords. Um, this is a lesson, just to let you know the topic today. We're talking about melodic minor scale harmony. Okay, we're basically chord scale relationship. We're going to write out the melodic minor scale. We'll just use C melodic minor. We're going to look at the triads in the melodic minor. We're going to look at the seventh chords. We'll also get some sixth chords, and this will reinforce a lot of what you already know. Jeremy, good to see you again. Thanks for tuning in. Mike says hello, cheers. Good morning, Mike. Thanks, guys, for tuning in today's lesson. I'm covering a lot of I'll just kind of talk for a minute as I sit and relax, have a cup of coffee with you. I'm talking a lot about the basics, the fundamentals. This is going beyond the major scale. You know, the major scale, I've already talked a lot about. There's a lot of theory on Patreon. If you check out my theory courses on Patreon, it's informal, and these were online classes that I taught, and they're all in parts. Covered a lot of stuff, the basics of, the chromatic scale, the major scale, the pentatonic scales, construction, some harmonic minor, whole tone, minor keys, parallel keys, all that. I think it's so important. If you are here, you probably love playing jazz and jazz standards and want to understand it better, or even Beatles and Beach Boys or Radiohead or whatever you enjoy, if you want to get a better understanding of how music theory works. And I'm focusing more on the pop jazz style of teaching music theory. We're not doing figured bass. We're not doing 4-part chorales, harmonies, from Bach. That's all music school stuff, and that's great. But we're talking a little bit more to fundamental, applicable to pop, rock, jazz. There's my spiel for the morning. So let's get started. But yeah, I hope you have a good understanding of your diatonic major scale, the modes, all that stuff, and understand how formulas work. I also hope you understand triads. I'm going to review a little bit of triad theory and seventh chord theory. So there we go. Type in the chat who you are, where you're at. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. Sorry for that. So let me get my guitar. These lessons get cataloged on Patreon. Sometimes they stay on YouTube, depending on the popularity of it, I guess, too. So if you like it, do give me a thumbs up for these lessons. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get started here, you guys. We're just going to dive into it. We've got a lot to cover today. Okay. You've got to basically know your triads. If we talk chords, you got to understand triads, okay? Of course, formulas for the scales. This is all fundamental stuff. I'll just say it lightly. We're not talking about in the college term of music theory, but just Tracy Kim's music theory class. This is music theory 101 here. Is that triads. You ready for this? You can type it in the chat because I like to see how fast you guys are. If I said spell for me what the formula for major triad is. Good morning, Robert. Good to see you. Major triad, you would say what? I want you to say 1, 3, 5. And that's derived from the major scale. You take your first degree C, you take your third degree E, and you take your fifth degree, which is G. This is fundamental stuff. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm gonna get closer here. Triads, okay? Type it in. I'm gonna see how fast you guys are. If I said spell for me, Mike, and by the way, this is 2 whole steps in 1 1/2. Again, I'm not gonna go through all the details. This is all covered in my theory materials that's on Patreon. But if I said, okay, you guys know what I'm gonna do, right? Type it in. If I said, tell me what a minor triad is, you'd say, Tracy, minor triad is 1, flat 3, 5. Okay, who typed that in? Nobody. Okay, I'm gonna hope that you know this. This is as in order of importance. Majors first, because from major you can get all your other triads, and these are called tertian triads. This is just a little quick theory review. We're going to do a 3-minute review. Major, minor, you know what the next one's going to be, diminished. These are just abbreviations. What's the formula for dim 7? I'll have a sip of coffee while somebody types it in. You would say, Tracy, a diminished triad is 1. Nobody's doing it. Flat 3, it's okay. Flat 5. It's too much work to type it in, I know. Okay, Yukon, there we go. Yeah, I would not use a capital B. I would use a lowercase b, and I would put it in front of the 3 and in front of the 5, just to be a little bit more technical, but I'm glad you did that, so that's important. The augmented triad. What's an augmented triad? It's 1, 3, sharp 5. We did that. Oh, thank you, Michael, for the dim. Yeah, look at how Michael wrote the dim. That's how I would write it. 1, flat 3, flat 5. And augmented is 1, 3, sharp 5. Again, to me, when I'm talking triad theory, I always start with the major triad and then I modify it. Minor by flatting the 3. Diminished, you flat the 3, flat the 5th. Augmented, you take your major triad and you sharp the 5th. When we're talking about the major scale harmony, there's no augmented triad. There's only one diminished, and that's a 7th degree. However, in the melodic minor scale, we do get an augmented triad. I'm excited to share that with you. So again, check it out. Here's G major. Here's G minor. Here's G diminished. Here's G major. I keep going back to the major and sharp the 5. Here's augmented. This is just called root position. You could do these triads, inversions, major, minor, diminish, and then back to the major, augmented. These are all covered in my previous lessons. This is fundamental. Major, minor, diminished, back to major, and augmented. And you always get that same augmented shape for the triad. Major, this is just going through inversions. Minor, diminish, flat the 5th, major, and then sharp the 5th. Okay, now, how many of you feel like you have a good grasp on that? I'm just curious, because this is pretty fundamental that you know your triads and can play them, not just paper, but can actually do that. If I named a triad, that you can play it, and if in their inversions, okay, that's important. I know you're saying Tracy's being so strict. He's saying we gotta do this, gotta do that. But you can do as much as or as little as you want. I'm just recommending, okay? This is what I expect from myself, at least, and from my private students. I want to help them achieve this, because the ones who are usually studying with me want to get fast and get good at this. There's other chords such as suspended. There's a sus2, and that's 1, 2, 5. And there's a sus4. These are fun, but these are not tertian triads anymore. Tertian is the fancy word that just means we're in thirds, because that's a whole step. And then 4 to 5 is a whole step, so we're no longer in thirds. Okay, so that's triad review. You know what's next, right? Let's do the flash round. I want to see how fast you guys are, so type it in. 7th chord theory. You gotta know your formulas, and you can refer back to this video. This video gets cataloged on Patreon. I actually have these on worksheets on Patreon too. I'll attach it to this link again. Major 7. Oh, by the way, grab the PDF in the description if you want. It's free. Just you'll quickly download it, and it's going to go over today's topic, which is melodic minor scale harmony. Major 7. Usually I just write MAJ7. I'm going to use my abbreviations. And you'll see a triangle 7 like that if you really want to be fast shorthand. But I'm going to go ahead and just write MAJ7. Okay, ready? Who typed it in? Yes, Yukon. Good job. 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, 1, 3, 5, 7. Dominant 7. This is the order that you should practice them in. 1, 3, 5. And what do? We flat the 7. That gives us a dominant 7. Now, when you see it on a chart or a lead sheet, it will just say C7. Okay, just C7. That means dominant 7. That does not mean major 7. Major has to have MAJ 7 or the triangle 7, delta. Let's keep going, you guys. Michael, good. Minor 7 is next. You can write MI7, lowercase, or MIN7, or just a minus sign 7. That's just all shorthand there, okay? So we want 1 flat 3, 5. That's your triad, and then we want that minor 7. Let's keep going. Who typed that in? Michael, good. Minor 7, flat 5. Okay, the abbreviation for that is MI, you can put MIN or MI7, flat 5. You can even put circle the line through it. That means half diminished, okay? And 1 flat 3, flat 5, there's your diminished triad, and then a flat 7, okay? These are the formulas. Now we need a fully dim 7. Let's see, type that in. Somebody type in fully dim 7. You'll see it say circle 7. That's a dim 7. That's the symbol for it, okay? Here we go. 1, let's see who typed it in. Yukon, thank you. 1 flat 3, flat 5, double flat 7. Double flat 7. What does that mean? That just means the 6th degree from the root, okay? So if we're on C, the 6th degree is what? What's the 6th degree of C? That's okay if you don't know it, but that's an A. C to A. It's a 6th degree. But funny enough, this can also be called, you're not going to like this, B double flat. Would you call that a B double flat in context? You know, if somebody said, you know, what note is this, Tracy? I'd say B double flat. They'd look at me and be like, what are you talking about? That's just an A. So again, you know, be flexible with your spelling. There's this whole kind of strict mathematical formula route that we can go, or we can be a little bit more practical. So I do call that an A, even though we're on a C dim 7. And that's 1, flat 3, flat 5, and 6, or double flat 7 again. So not only do we want to do these, this is fundamental. Again, I'm spending 5 minutes instead of 3 minutes. C major 7, C dominant 7, C minor 7, C minor 7, flat 5, C dim 7. Okay, now we're going to add to that today because we're going to have even another chord studying the melodic minor scale. We're going to have an augmented major 7 sharp 5. So we're going to take our major 7, we're going to take the 5th and sharp it. It's really beautiful. That's in the melodic minor scale. Okay. I'll repeat that and I'll write it on the board for you. This is the melodic minor scale yields some cool results and some fancy stuff. You're going to really enjoy this lesson. Major 7, augmented. I usually just say sharp 5. You can just put plus if you want. So plus is the symbol for augmented. I don't know if we talked about it. 1, sharp 5, 7. Major 7 with a sharp 5. It's exactly what it says. You take a major 7 chord and then you sharp the 5th. Okay, you got it? It's going to be erased. So take a screenshot. You know this stuff. This is important. That's music theory 101 by Tracy's music book. Okay, now we're going to start today's topic. What are the chords from the melodic minor scale? Okay, what triads, what 7th chords do we get? Here we go. We're going to use C melodic minor. Usually again I put MM, but I'll write it out for you guys. C melodic minor. Remember the previous lesson, it's still on YouTube if you want to watch it, covering the melodic minor scale and the applications over a dominant chord, but I did something similar. I still wrote out the scale and talked about this. That was the first part of the session. I said you could take a C major scale and flat the 3. That's your C melodic minor scale. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to tend to this, so I don't have to have a ding, but remember that's your melodic minor. The formula, again, I'm going to erase this, but I'll just show it to you. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? And yeah, I want you to be able to play it as well. This is all on that master worksheet that I have. 1, 2. Okay, that's one way to finger it. It's nice to have a few. It's nice to have a few fingerings. Oh, you guys, yeah, look at you typing in. I didn't even notice that. A, B, B. Good, good, good. Okay, so here we go. Let's do it. Let's erase this, and now let's create our triads. And this lesson came about because I asked the other day, how many of you know the chords of the melodic minor scale? And many of you are like, I don't know. So I'm going to go through it with you right now. It's very important. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do kind of some arithmetic here with letters. We're going to go C, E flat, G. Just going to every other note, tertian, like I mentioned. We're going to add them together. This is the theory of it. Let's get closer. I know you guys are excited about this. So C, E flat, G. That equals C minor. The first chord of C melodic minor is C minor. D, F, A. I'm just going every other note. D, F, A. And again, you might have to play it. You might have to count, whatever you need to do. I'm just doing it in my head. D, F, A. I mean, again, you can go do, 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 do. You can go. And that's, you're going to say, oh, D, F, A. That's D. Hey, that was pretty good in pitch, wasn't it? That was D minor. Okay. So the one chord is C minor, the two chord is D minor. Two minor triads, okay? Now, but that's, okay, we'll go on. E, G, B. E flat, G, B. I'm going to let you guys tell me in the comments, what triad is that? E flat, G, B. Play it. E flat, G, B. What is that? Here's E flat major. Here's E flat augmented. Nobody typed it in. That's okay. It might be new for you all. So I'm going to tell you. The flat 3 chord here is E flat augmented. And we just put that plus symbol. Okay? E flat augmented. That's the 3 chord. It's technically the flat 3, remember. Okay, let's keep going. I want you guys to do this. This is a process, video here, essentially. Because if you were sitting here with me in the room, I would wait for you to figure it out. And I wouldn't be doing it for you. So F, A, and C. What is that? Play it. If you have a piano, it's even better because you can see it instantly. Guitar is harder to do it. You have to, maybe play your triads unless you have them memorized. F, A, C. Okay. Thanks, Yukon. But what about this one? F, A, C. Just play it. I want you guys to. We'll take our time today. I want you to go through this process. This way you can apply this method of learning the harmonizations of different scales. Any scale, harmonic minor, melodic minor. We did this on the diminished scale last week. Whole tone scale. We'll do that. I have some videos, but I'll do it again. Exotic scales, pentatonic scales, whatever. You can do this and figure out what are the triads. Sometimes they don't even have tertian triads, or pentatonic scale has 2 of them. Then you got a lot of sus chords. I'm talking F dim. FAC is F major. Dum, dum, dum. So the 4 chord is F major. FAC. So in the C melodic minor scale, there's an F major. Okay, it's in that C melodic minor. That's okay if you got it wrong. I'm pretty sure you're trying. Major triad of F. Eric, glad you can tune in today. Good. And Yukon, that's okay. I want you guys to learn this. The 4 chord is major. What is the 5 chord? G, B, D. Go for it. G, B, D, G, B, D, G, B, D, G, B, D. G triad. Yes, G triad. G, B, D, F, A, C. C, E flat, G. This is really awesome. C minor is the 1 chord. F major is the 4. G major is the 5. That's important to know because if you were in the key of C major, you'd do this. C major, F major, G major, 4, 1, 4, 5. In C melodic minor, you turn the 1 chord to minor. And then the 4 and the 5 are still major triads. Okay, if you didn't know that, that's very important. 1 is minor. The 4 and the 5 are still major. Okay. That right there is huge. Huge. 4 and 5 are still major. I know you're excited to get to the 7th chords too, but let's just do triads. Triads are very important to begin with. Okay, let's type in the comment if this is new for you or if you're excited and learning something. I want to know. C, okay, and again, to build these triads, I'm just going every other note and I'm writing it out like this, like I'm adding it. And then we can look at the formulas and all that stuff, but I'm just going to have you appreciate it. It's easy. A, C, E flat. Remember, we're in the melodic minor. What is that? A, C, E flat. Again, I'm just going to show you if you need to, you'd go A, C, E flat. You'd go, oh, ooh, haunting. That's a diminished triad, right? A diminished triad. That's the 6th chord there, A dim. Again, we're going every other note. These are the tertian triads. We're going in thirds. It might be a major third or a minor third. How you guys doing? Thanks, Robert. Good to see you again. Last one here, B, D, F. This is also still contained within the C major scale. Remember, the chords that really change from the key of C major to the key of C minor, melodic minor that is, are anything that are affected by that E flat. So that means B, D, F. You already know the answer to this, but I'd like to see someone at least type it in. Again, I want you to do this process. You're going to benefit a lot more if you see it this way instead of just looking at my piece of paper that I wrote out, which I'm actually hoping you're not doing right now. Thank you. Be diminished. And again, I could just put a little circle by it like I did, I don't have to write og, or I could put a plus or do whatever you want. We all know the symbols. If you don't, you're learning it today. Congratulations. You just learned the triads in the C melodic minor scale, okay? C minor, D minor. That's 1 and the 2, they're minor. The flat 3 is augmented. The 4 and the 5 are major. The 6 is diminished, and 7 is diminished. Okay. I'm going to let that soak in. Now, if I ask you to play them, you'd be like, okay, let's do it together. C minor, D minor. Sorry, my big head's in the way now. E flat augmented. I would do it like this. This is a common shape. You could do it like this if you want to. Okay, we'll do that later for the minor. Major 7 augmented. F major, G major, A diminished. I'm just doing it like this. B diminished, and back to C minor. Okay, we can do triads, C minor, D minor, E flat augmented, F major, G major, A dim, B dim, and C minor. We can arpeggiate. We can do all this fun exercises now. We're not going to do that. We're just talking shop today. But again, I just want to at least open you up to some concepts if you want to learn this melodic minor scale in chords, learn your inversions, etc. Questions on that at all? Now we're going to do seventh chords, okay? Now you guys know this, so when I ask you, you'll at least can refer back to that PDF. The link is in the description. If anybody is tuning in, hello, welcome to today's lesson. We're talking melodic minor scale chord relationship, harmonized scale. Okay, do this if you are enjoying these lessons. The next one, we're going to go back and do the harmonic minor. I mean, I can't leave anything, not touched. So we got to do that. We got to do all of them. This is just going to be an ongoing series as I teach, my favorite songs too. This will be the music theory portions. So we'll do, music theory and songs. And the next song I'm going to show you how I like to play it, and we're going to analyze it, is My Funny Valentine, just so you know. So I hope you get excited about that one. I kind of demonstrated it the other day, so it was in my head. Jeremy. Melodic minor, well, I'm not going to necessarily talk about the song Idle Moments, but melodic minor is just the hippest scale. It's my favorite. I don't know. Harmonic minor used to be my favorite scale, but I found myself just really loving the sound, the colors of the melodic minor scale. Harmonic minors. I play a lot of, gypsy jazz songs, and the foundation of that is more harmonic minor. But Grant Green, for example, he really hit that focus a lot on that 6th degree on a minor 7 chord. You got to be careful because if you just hit the 6th degree, we don't know if it's Dorian or if it's melodic minor. So you have to hear this, and that's that sound, melodic minor, that major 7 added onto it with the 6. I mean, that's being more specific. You get this. That's some flavor of the melodic minor scale. You can use a melodic minor. I mean, I'm being a little bit more technical now. You can still use a melodic minor scale, even if the chord says C minor 7. I play melodic minor all the time, even though I know the rhythm player is playing C minor 7. I'm just going to hit that B anyways because I like it so much. But technically, theoretically, it's supposed to be harmonized. We'll see it in a moment with a C minor major 7 chord. We're also going to look at 6 chords too, because I feel like that's super important. And you'll know that C minor, if you go C, E flat, G, and then add the A to it, that's your C minor 6th, this. And that's used so much in jazz, the minor 6. So it's kind of natural to add that major 7 in to make it melodic. But I also want to say Dorian and melodic minor share that, both share that major 6. Okay, guys, let's get started here. Thank you for that question, Jeremy. Yeah, the jazz melodic minor, that's just the same thing, just going up and down. As far as I know, I mean, that term, traditionally the melodic minor scale, you're supposed to go classical style, you're supposed to descend with a natural minor, okay? So the jazz melodic minor is just saying, hey, it's just going up and down the same. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So when we're doing now the 7th chords, we need to add on the 7th degree. So let's go ahead and just map that all out first. So now we're going to add these up. We're going to play these together. Okay, so there's our 7th chords. We need 4 notes, every other note. Okay. Now you're going to know your 7 chords for the melodic minor. Let's get closer here. Let's get closer here. I don't want my computer to fall on the floor. Okay, there we go. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. Okay. C, E flat, G, B natural. I already gave it away. This is new for, I didn't talk about this on the other. I missed this one. This is an important one. It's the most important one for the melodic minor. This is a new chord for you. This is a minor major 7 chord. This is another 7 chord that you get from the melodic minor scale. It's also in the harmonic minor. Minor, major 7. So it's going to be like this. Minor, major 7. I just want to tell you the formula for minor, major 7 is 1, flat 3, 5, 7. Okay, it's a combo. Minor, major 7. And this is why I said the next song I'm going to teach is My Funny Valentine. Because that second chord, My Funny Valentine, is C minor, major 7. So C minor, major 7. Okay, that can also be used in Blue Skies. Blue skies, smiling at me. Okay, so this is a cliche. It's a walk down, chromatic walk down, and then C minor. So many songs use that cliche. It don't mean a thing there if it ain't got that. So you could do that walk down. Of course, we all know this. That's adding the 9 on, but essentially it's A minor, major 7. So that's what a minor, major 7 chord is. Actually, let me show it to you. I'm going to show it to you on A minor 7. And then we take the 7. We do this. I know it looks, you got to be careful because you don't want to do this. Now it's A7, but then this. You got to make sure you pluck the right strings too. I'm barring and I'm plucking. So I'm going like this. So that's A minor, major 7. Again, I just bar and I get that G sharp. Here's G minor, major 7. Again, I'm plucking only this string, 6, 4, 3, 2. You could do this if you want to get the 5th on, if you want to bar it. It's a little bit too muddy for my taste, but it's kind of dark and cool at the same time. So here's C minor. Here's C minor, major 7. These are just important things to practice. Here's C minor 7, and here's C minor 6. I know many of you don't like that shape. Okay, C melodic minor, C minor, major 7. It's a very unique harmony. It's very, very beautiful. Okay, let's get back to theory. That's why you're here today. First chord in the C, first 7th chord. These are 7th chords. Can you all hear that little squeak there? Sounds like a little mouse. So C, E flat, G, B, that's C minor, major 7. D, F, A, C. It's all white keys right on the piano. D minor 7. You can type it in too. I like to see how fast y'all are. D minor 7 is a 2 chord. We're going to play through these, don't worry. Here's that, we knew this was an augmented triad, but then this is a major 7 we're adding on. So this is going to be called an E flat major 7 augmented. I'll say sharp plus or sharp. I like to even go some more specific and say +5 or sharp 5. Major 7, and I already showed that to you, but if you didn't catch it earlier, you just simply take a major 7. This is the E flat, 6th fret, your grip shape. Take your 5th and you sharp it. Isn't that beautiful? You go like this. Here's a 6. Again, it works nicely in passing, often to create movement because that chord, that augmented sound, that chord is a little bit unstable. Okay, that tension there. And this has an augmented triad too. That's why that sounds a little bit unstable too. And that's why those cliches that you hear are often has that augmented triad to create that tension, that unstable quality to it. Like it needs to go somewhere else or it needs to resolve. Are you guys typing in the chat? Jeffrey, good morning. Okay, you guys, play this one. F, A, C, E flat. F8, maybe you can do it without playing it, but maybe some of you need to play it. Maybe you need to do this. F, A, C, E flat. Right? That's an F7 chord, F dominant 7. I'm just arpeggiating. And we want to be able to arpeggiate these. F, A, C, E flat. The 4 chord. The 4 chord, not just the 5 chord. Oh, I gave it away already. The 4 chord is dominant 7. The 4 chord. That's breaking news. Because everybody, you think often like, oh, if I see a dominant 7, that's going to be the 5 chord. Could be a 4 chord too. Okay. F7, 4 chord of the melodic minor scale. Okay, G, B, D, F. Again, arpeggiated. I already gave it away, but I'll still arpeggiate it because it's so much fun. G, B, D, F. G, B, D, F. G, B, D, F. G, B, D. Be able to arpeggiate these in different places. That's G7. F7. Sounds like a blues almost, right? One scale can fit over this. I threw in a flat 7, I cheated. G7, F7, they both are contained in the melodic minor, the C melodic minor. Again, experiment with this. That's why I'm grabbing my guitar to demonstrate, because I want you to play this with me. The 4 chord and the 5 chord are both dominant 7s in the key of C melodic minor. Notice I said key of C melodic minor. I consider it like we're in the key of C melodic minor, not key of C anymore. Okay, good. Let's keep going. You guys are doing awesome. I'd like to see more people type in, but that's okay. Ready? Maybe someone will type this one as you play it on the piano or guitar or ukulele or saxophone, whatever instrument you're watching this on, cello. A, C, E flat. We already knew that was a diminished triad. A, hint, hint, 1 flat 3 flat 5. A, C, E flat, G. What is that? Type it in. This one I want to see some people type. Yeah, Yukon, that is true, but that's going to give us some options. Watch my previous video on applicate 4 melodic minor, 4 dominant chords for the melodic minor. That will kind of even blow your mind a little bit more. But yeah, music is like that. It's a little ambiguous. It's not always textbook. You can't always just assume that, oh, I see a dominant chord, that's a 5. Well, guess what? It might be functioning as a 4 chord. Well, it might just be a 12-bar blues. That's another thing altogether. Okay, so who typed it in? I'm waiting. Let me get more coffee in a second if you guys are going to take this long to type in that chord. Come on. A, C, E flat, G. Want to see it? Thank you, Eric. A minor 7 flat 5. Well, here's something I can. Oh, I'm writing a little bit too big here. It's okay. Let me see what I can do. It's this guy. That was the one. This one got way off. See, now I just put my cymbals. A flat major, and then we go F7, G7, A minor 7 flat 5. Again, I can put the half diminished. That's why we use cymbals, just to save space. That's a half diminished chord. Thank you, Eric, for saying that. Now, this is another groundbreaking discovery here. And you'll hear me say this all the time in my lessons. You see A minor 7 flat 5, that's equivalent to what minor 6 chord? This is how you're going to get the 6 chords too if you want. A minor 7 flat 5 equals what minor 6? Does anybody type that in yet? Thanks, Yukon, for typing that in. A minor 7 flat 5 equals. That's okay. I'm just going to write some 6 chords down here while we're at it. 6 chords. A minor 7 flat 5 is the same as C minor 6. Good. Thank you. Thanks, Johnny. So C minor 6, that's huge. That's so important. C minor 6 is equal to A minor 7 flat 5. So when you do your inversions, that's all A minor 7 flat 5. A minor 7 flat 5 chord, you play melodic minor. A minor 7 flat 5, what scale can I play? C melodic minor. If you want that flavor. Okay, that's one particular flavor. If you want that. Okay, let's keep going. Yukon C minor 6. Okay, just to make sure you got the minor 6. That's A half diminished. The last chord here is B, D, F, A. Just like we're in the key of C, I'm just going to tell it to you. B half dim. So yes, you get 2 half diminished chords next to each other, the 6th and the 7th. Remember, previously as triads, they were both diminished, but now they're minor 7 flat 5 chords. So you have A half dim, B half dim, A half dim, B half dim. A half dim, you can do it this way too with inversions. A half dim, B half dim, A half dim, B half dim, A half dim, B half dim. You know, just practice this. Get some really beautiful flavors by just playing with those two. But I have news for you again. I'm hoping to connect. I'm hoping some light bulbs go off. I'm hoping to blow your mind. A half dim equals C minor 6. B half dim equals Johnny. B minor 7 flat 5 is the same as what minor 6? Robert. You guys feel like you're in class? Theory classes. I'm going back to my theory days in music school now, sitting in the back of the class. Thank you, John. B half dim is equivalent to C minor 6. Okay, so I'm going to write it, or D minor 6. I got to remember what I said. C minor 6. They're the same thing. D minor 6. So yes, you have 2 minor 6 chords next to each other. This. There we go. That's huge. Yeah. One scale, the melodic minor again. Okay. Congratulations, you guys. You just harmonized the melodic minor scale. Now you gotta practice it, play them. We're gonna explore a little bit more, so hang out with me still. I still have more coffee. Okay, but let's play through these chords now. Just as 7 chords only, okay? And I'll just talk through it so you don't have to see the board, but this is all on that PDF. It's for free. Just get it in the description. I know many of you are on Patreon, so thank you for being on Patreon, but I made this available to the public. C minor major 7. D minor 7. E flat major 7 augmented. Think about this one. E flat major 7, but I gotta augment it. So again, sharp to 5. Augmented. Okay. C minor major 7. I'll do a little bossa. D minor 7. E flat major 7 sharp 5. F7. G7. A half dim. B half dim. C minor major 7. Let's descend. Go down the scale. This is a harmonized scale. If you want to be technical about what we're doing here. We're harmonizing the scale C minor major 7. Okay. Does that make sense? C minor major 7. And I'm going to have a sound slice practice video for that. This is very important that you get these chord scale relationships down. Those are 7th chords, okay? Now there's some fancier things that we'll do in an advanced lesson. I'm going to leave it at that for now. So you guys, thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know. And I appreciate you. Hope to see you on Patreon. If you're not a Patreon member, have a great day. Probably going to teach My Funny Valentine to you all in the next day or two. So please keep an eye out for that next live stream. Have a good one. Bye-bye.